Okay, everybody, I'd like to welcome you to the 2020 Contactless Hiring and Onboarding in the COVID-19 Climate webinar. Our speaker today will be Desmond Lim. Desmond is the CEO and co-founder of Workstream, a contactless hiring and onboarding software for logistics, retail, hospitality, businesses, and more. They work with brands including Jamba Juice, DoorDash, Uber, Marriott, and more, and are backed by investors including Zoom, DoorDash, and Z Basis Set Ventures, JZ Basis Set Ventures. Desmond's a graduate of Harvard and MIT, very impressive background. A serial entrepreneur. He used to run a logistics business with his father and is based out of Palo Alto, California. Andrew Brady will also be hosting the webinar and has some experience working with Desmond. So I'll hand it off to Andrew to talk a little bit about his experience with Desmond, and then let Desmond take over with Andrew to co-present after that. Take it away, Andrew.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for taking time out of your busy day to join us. So I met Desmond on LinkedIn, and then we talked about Workstream, and it seemed to me, because we are an Amazon DSP and we need to hire a large number of people, we decided to give Workstream a try. And so it's been a great partnership so far. They really helped us get from 20 to 30 routes quickly and easily. We were able to meet our ramping guidelines from Amazon, and we exceeded them this year, which is something no one else in our station could do. And so I'm here just to tell you about my great experience with Workstream, and I encourage him to join the CDA because I think that anyone that needs to ramp up quickly and wants to hire people with very little effort, and especially if you're doing Amazon work where you're constantly needing to hire, it's a great way to go. So I'm the customer testimonial department here today. So I guess I'll hand it over to you, Desmond.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and also Michael. Can everyone see the slide showing up?
Yes, we can.
Can people see the screen? Perfect, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for sharing. That was very kind of you. It has been a great joy to be partners and to learn from you. So I'm very glad to have the chance today to share more. So I guess I'll dive right in to talk with everyone. This is probably top of mind for folks. What is this contactless hiring? I think in the current virus climate, as we all know, it is the best if we can try to be remote and also virtual as much as we can, and that is what we all can do for you. This end-to-end hiring flow that is fully virtual, and that involves quite a bit of like video, but also texting. So being able to actually soft screen and also onboard people virtually. So I'll bring you through the pointers quickly over here. As you can see, sourcing, what we do for you is there'll be no more having to manually post. We help you to post onto various job boards through our software. So our software will post for you onto more than 20 channels from Indeed, LinkedIn, Craigslist every single week. We also have a referral software that is going to be very helpful for you. Secondly, for screening is really where our contactless hiring flow comes in. You're able to screen people through our software virtually, through texting, and you are able to set up video calls through our software. We are fully plugged into Zoom so that every time that you want to talk to someone, our software would actually help you to self-schedule a time via Zoom or via the phone, and people who is keen to talk to you can self-select into some of your free time slots. Finally, for this onboarding, we can actually do away with much of this paper or even email. Everything will be built through the phone, where you'll be able to do paperless onboarding with this online signing. And this is from W4, I-9, and any kind of forms that you have. And we can even help you to conduct training, videos, and guides. And all those can all be built on it. And I think one of the best things we all can do is, since we have been able to work very well with Andrew and his team, we can share some of this actually workflows that we have built for him with you two.
Yeah, so here I'll jump in real quick here just for a second. So before Workstream, our primary source of advertising was Indeed, and we were spending about $1,200 a month with Indeed. Once we started working with Workstream, we started channeling our sponsored Indeed through Workstream, and we are now paying significantly less for significantly more applicants. So we were spending $1,200 a month for about 30 a week, and now I think we're paying $400, and we're getting about 65 a week. So right now we are actually overwhelming Amazon's ability to get our guys in, which is really cool for me. So it definitely works. It's a lot less work for one thing, and again, like Desmond was saying, we have all the questions that you would ask in an interview. We have all the paperwork done, and now we're doing some new stuff where we have training videos for a different position I'm hiring. We actually have training videos up, and it's pretty cool. So the other good thing is you don't really have to, you can stumble through it on your own if you're tech savvy, but if you can't figure it out, they have great support, and we have a dedicated guy, Ben, who puts all our stuff up for us. So like, hey, we need this video put in, we need this form, we need this, and they just take care of it. So Workstream's really good. I'm very happy with it, and yeah. So Desmond, back to you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. That was great. So trying to build upon what Andrew just shared, right? In the world of trying to hire drivers and these hourly folks, one of the key things is trying to engage them fast. I know it well because both my parents are both hourly workers. So I grew up in this space. My dad has been a driver for the past 40 years. So what we learned is that being able to reach out, engage, and screen them, that will be very key. So through our texting software, you're able to do that quickly. And like what Andrew was sharing, you are able to save costs by working with our team, because we are going to help you to source for more people through various channels on top of Indeed, from Facebook Jobs, Google, Craigslist, Glassdoor, and more. So one of the key points we have here to make is whether or not you use software, you get a point to be able to get back as fast as you can. And second tip that we have is maximize screening. We found that being able to screen people thoroughly, it is very key. Some folks who applied for the role of drivers may not even have a driver's ID. That doesn't make sense at all for you to even spend time to talk to him or her, right? So being able to set up some of these questions, some of which I'll be showing you soon in the next few slides, will be very helpful for you. And being able to talk to them through video or through the phone will be very helpful too. And our software will create this automated workflow that is contactless through the phone that will be able to help you to save time and to screen for the folks who are the best fit. And over here, I will quickly touch on some of these screening questions, and I'm sure Andrew has a few to add to. But these are some of the ones that that we have used. And in the past few weeks, we have added quite a few more. For example, have you traveled out of the country in the past few weeks? Have you been in touch with someone who has been sick or someone who has flu-like symptoms? This is all very key because every one of us here wants to do our best for our team to keep everyone safe and sound. So trying to add in some of these simple questions will be very helpful. And moving on from that, you can also be asking questions like, what are some of your free time slots? How many hours can you work? Have you worked in this space? And you can even create some scenario-based questions. For example, now that our company is trying to roll out contactless delivery, will you send it to someone face-to-face, or will you send it to someone at the doorstep? These are some very simple questions that we would actually all be surprised that people may not get it right. So this is some questions on this habits which we can share here.
And it's funny. So
yeah.
we have lots of questions that we ask people in the workflow for getting hired with us, and I've always focused on questions that were, have you been a delivery driver before? Have you driven a cargo van before? These kind of questions. And seeing these slides made me realize I got to go back to the drawing board, add a bunch of new questions. So even for me as a presenter, I feel like I'm learning something here today.
Thank you, Andrew. Andrew, since we're on that, maybe I could ask you, what are one or two questions that you have used that have worked very well for you?
So we have questions like, what kind of car, you have a car that you're willing to use for work? What kind of vehicle is it? Have you had any accidents in the last 3 years? These kind of questions. And again, have you driven a cargo van before for the Amazon position? Do you have actual delivery experience? And for who did you work for? Have you had any experience working for Amazon before? So just really for us, this is something that I think I have not taken as good advantage of as I possibly can. And I'm definitely going to hit you guys up for some better questions because your questions are way better than mine.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, and we have a case study on Andrew, which I think he shared a bit on. But Andrew, can you tell us just a bit more in depth? In the past, what were you doing? And could you share a bit on that, like prior to working with us? Can you share a bit about your workflow?
So before we were just using Indeed or ZipRecruiter. We experimented with a bunch of different hiring sites, and then we would call people, email them, set up an appointment, have them come into the office. We would get about 40 people. We would contact, and that we would be able to schedule, and like 20 of them would show up. 20 of them would make an appointment. 10 of them would show up for their appointment. Of those 10, 5 would actually show up for their first day at Amazon, and 2 would survive. So we're doing much better now than we were before. And the big thing really, I think, that's in a way that's the kind of surprise from this is that the prospects are doing the process themselves on their phone. And so in the old system, we hired a lot of people that did not know how to work a cell phone, which can be a real problem in today's delivery environment where everything's done over the phone. It's all data. Everyone knows you got to use an app. You got to be able to push the buttons. And we were hiring a ton of people that couldn't push the buttons. Now with Workstream, we're finding that those people are kind of filtering themselves out because they don't reply to the text. They don't go on to the next step. They don't answer the question. They don't watch the video. So some of the the guys that are actually inappropriate for the job are filtering themselves out. And that's a great thing. And then when this whole, the whole COVID thing happened, we really want to minimize interactions with, strangers, because that's where your risk is. We didn't want to be bringing, 20 people into our office 3 times a week. And so to limit all that, we went to, video interviews. And granted, it's not, I still think that the personal interview, you kind of get a better filter where you get more a sense of what the person's like. But we seem to be doing okay with video meetings, and it is what it is. But at least we have a way of doing it. If we did not have Workstream, I don't know how we'd be continuing to hire right now without risking the health and safety of my existing workers.
Thank you, Andrew. And Andrew, early on you were telling me about how one of the barriers that you faced was your team was very worried about their own jobs and their role if you were to bring this new software. Can you talk a bit about that, please?
Okay, yeah, and this is kind of funny. So my biggest challenge in implementing Workstream was selling it to my own people. My partner Chris was sure it wouldn't work, and everyone in the HR department was just, oh, I don't want to do that. I like to talk to people, and it comes down to they were like kind of afraid they were going to lose their jobs, and it doesn't replace people. You still need someone to go through the lists. In fact, I have 2 people doing 2 different job postings that we're running through Workstream. So I've actually doubled the number of people that are working on it, but it's so much easier that I can have someone who's less qualified processing a huge number of applicants, which is great because right now, I don't know what's going on for everyone else, but we are growing because we're getting all these home deliveries. We're delivering fruit, and we're delivering prescriptions to people's homes because they don't want to go to the store anymore. So I'm like struggling to hire people again. And now, and again, we're like, hey, let's put in a new thing, and boom, it's up and it's running quickly and easily. And I've got 2 people. I've got 2 streams now, 2 different streams of workers coming in, and it's working great.
Thank you, Andrew. Trying to talk a bit about trends. People have been talking about with the current COVID-19, even in the next 3 to 6 months, which we all wish that things will become better. People still feel that businesses and folks, they will want to work from home. They will want to stay home more. So there is definitely a huge chance for teams like yours, Andrew, to grow even more because everyone wants things to be sent to their homes now. Can you talk a bit about that trend? Is it a trend that you see that?
So, Lily, who I've got doing who's doing all my Amazon hiring, is working out of her house, and because we're using Workstream, she doesn't have to meet with people, and they fill out all their paperwork in Workstream, and then we download it, and so they're doing like a virtual I-9, a virtual W-2, all that stuff. I mean, whatever. Anyways, they fill out all the forms online, the application, the background check, waiver, all that stuff. They do it all online, and all we really have to do is get a drug test from them. And so we don't have to talk to them at all until they show up for the first day of work.
Awesome.
And Lily's working from home. Yeah.
That is really great. That is very helpful, Andrew. Yeah, that was great. Maybe I will quickly go through the rest of the slides, and we can open up to the team to see if there's any things that people want to ask about. Questions? Should I be doing that, Andrew?
Yes, please.
Sounds good. So quickly talking y'all about one other company in the same space. It's called Envoy America. So Envoy America has more than 50 locations. It's also in the same space. In the past few months, they actually have more than 100,000 SMS and text that's been sent, with over 70,000 applicants that has been sourced. And they were able to save more than 10 hours every week for every single location, saving more than 5,000 hours across their whole brand and their whole team. And trying to build upon what Andrew was sharing early on, companies do not fire people, but they are able to use the time that people save to do other things that can create even more like value.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. I have Lily, my hiring person, now does much more stuff. She's doing a whole bunch more administrative kind of tasks because we freed her up so much. And she's working from home.
Awesome. That is great. Yeah, we already see the trend of more and more people are going to work from home. That is a trend that will surely grow. And I think it's a very positive trend for everyone who is here today on the call. So, and this is some members of our team that I will quickly bring you all through. We have a strong team from Glassdoor, Yelp, Bamboo, Google, MIT, Harvard, and more. And that is really the team that we have built that is really passionate about working with folks like you. I was sharing that both my parents are both hourly workers. My dad's a driver for the past 35 years. And we have a very strong customer success team that is based in this SF that is going to be able to help you. So Aaron, he's the lead of the team for CS, and he'll be working closely with each of you if you are keen to try to find out more. And finally, these are some of the folks that have believed in us to give us funding. From CEO for Zoom, Eric Yuan, who's been in the news almost every day now. CEO for Yelp, James Harden from this rocket. We have Jay-Z, who folks should know, and also our very own Joe Montana. So some of these folks really believe in the things that we are doing and really trust us. And I hope one day to perhaps be able to organize one more of this session with some of them too. So yeah, this is my email over here, desmond@workstream.us. So if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to, email me. But what I'd love to do now is really open up the floor to see if there's any questions from the group for either Andrew or from me.
Yeah, I don't know if my stuff is working on the things. I got my phone in my ear.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, if you guys just give me a contact, I'd love to talk to you a little bit further about how it might work with me. There's no doubt that this sounds like a really great thing. Everything's all packaged up. It's all inclusive. Sounds wonderful. So it's just a function of working with our company and the cost and things like that. We're not as robust in our hiring practices, maybe Andrew is at this point, but it's still a problem, and we do need to streamline it. And I would love for it to be able to be done from home. My company has people working from home way before this stuff had happened. So I would love to see this function be able to be done from home and not tie up the normal staff on, that's in the office type of thing. So I have your email, but if you wouldn't mind, if I get up, I'm JR Dicker. I'm with Gold Rush Express Delivery. I'm the owner. And Andrew can give you my email if you don't have it. And I'd love to talk to you guys offline a little further. Andrew's a buddy of mine, so I can talk to him also. But I'd already heard a little bit about this. I'm already kind of thinking about something like this. So it's good timing, and I look forward to hearing from you. Early in the morning is best for me. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Desmond, a little update with Veteran Wise. I got a quick question on this, and I'm a little late to the party. I apologize. My GM's on here, but I wanted to find out as far as background checks and MBRs, as well as oh gosh, what's the other one? Your analysis, does that all tie into this?
Yes, it is. So we also have background checks that is tied in, that is really part of the flow. So through our software, you will be able to conduct background checks through us in a way that is very seamless, and everything is all built on a phone too.
Okay, so more important question, it's not per se me getting the information to SCI, for example, when we went through a nightmare back in November, December, just trying to get our onboarding process done. And primarily it's because most of the people that we use for drivers, they're not a big fan of technology. And so, and when I mean technology from the 90s, meaning they're not getting their information submitted sometimes took weeks, to the point where I even had to pay out of pocket on payroll, or just had to do payroll aside from my payroll company because they weren't processed yet. Does this kind of force the driver through their smartphone, in other words, or make it easier at least for them to get that information in the system quicker and more efficiently?
So Tim, I can speak to this from my experiences. So this was a concern at first for us, was that we would get fewer applicants because they would filter themselves out because they were unable to do the whole tech side of this. In the end, what's going on, the way it turns out is we're actually getting more people now for less money, and the non-tech savvy are filtering themselves out. So the people that we get know how to operate a cell phone, which is pretty much what they need to be able to do. You need people that can use an app. And by the time they make it through, they can use an app, and which turned out to be like great for us. And it was a concern at first, and it turns out to be an unfounded concern and actually a benefit of the whole Workstream process. Got
it. Okay. Did we discuss at any point pricing through this, guys, or?
No, but I can tell you at first, when I first met Desmond and we talked about the pricing, it seemed very expensive to me. And but now that I'm using it, I'm actually I'm saving money. I'm paying less per hire.
Well, quality of life thing going on there too, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, because my hiring manager's working from home and she doesn't have to come to the office. She's working less, and I've got her doing other stuff now too, whereas before she was completely consumed talking to people on the phone 12 hours a day. And
right.
Now she's doing all kinds of other stuff, and yeah, it works out really good. And I'm actually, so if you factor in what I was paying just for ads, I was paying so much more for ads to get half as many people as I'm getting now. So I was paying $1,200 a month to Indeed, and now I pay Indeed through Workstream so that all the applicants go directly into the Workstream API, and I'm paying less to Indeed through Workstream and getting more people.
Okay.
Okay, good Andrew, to know. I think what Tim was hinting at as a special rate for CDA members.
You got to talk about that one.
So we'll have to talk offline with Workstream regarding that if you guys are interested in doing a program with our association.
Sure. Andrew, do you think that these guys would be a good group to connect with Work for Warriors?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I did not have a lot of luck with Work for Warriors.
Well, that's part of the problem, is because they're disorganized and they need help streamlining it, I guess, in a sense. I mean, California alone has over 20,000 veterans unemployed right now, and now the number's probably doubled or tripled for that matter. So just wondering, because they are having a hard time really getting the information out to people properly. So anyway, probably dragging on there, but guys, if we facilitate a connection here, I'll connect you with the guy at Work for Warriors and see if you guys can't be a
I'll send you guys an introductory email after this so you can talk to Desmond about it. It might be good, yeah.
Okay.
So Desmond, Work for Warriors is a nonprofit finding jobs for recently released veterans.
Awesome. That is great. We would love to talk to them. I think one of my teammates, Dan Huang, who is on the team, he was a vet. So, right, Dan?
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, I would very be interested in kind of forming an alliance with them and seeing how we can get some of our veterans hired. It's definitely a very important initiative, I think, for sure.
Yeah, they need help because they're really lagging over there, and there's a lot of funding there. So I'm not quite sure why they're lagging, but I'll connect you guys with Troy over there, and hopefully he can pass you up the ladder, kind of thing. So
got it.
There's
Thank you so much.
Great tax benefits if you do hire vets as well. I think it's upwards of like around $2,000 a year tax write-off. So
to be determined.
Yeah, to be determined.
Yeah.
Well, it's significant. It's if you hire a veteran, it's well worth your while from a tax perspective.
Anyone got any other questions?
Should do it for me.
Desmond, this is Frank from Apollo Courier. I just sent you an email. We can connect later, so how you can work with my recruiting team and with my HR to help us out with that.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Frank. I would love to be able to chat further. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. If there's no further do you have a question, Tim? Or?
Oh no, I was just gonna. I'm gonna throw my email out there if you guys want to get in touch as well. It's just Dan, DAN at Workstream.is. So if you guys can't get a hold of anybody, feel free to shoot an email over to me, and I'll be happy to help you guys as well. Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
If there's no further questions, then I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules today to attend this very important webinar. And I know I learned a lot. I'm sure the rest of you did as well. I hope
Dan says Dan at Workstream.com?
Yep. .is.
So no .com, just .is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
So we'll continue our education program through webinars. Next one is to be determined, but I'm sure there'll be something very interesting coming in the near future. So I will be informing you in the future of webinars that we have planned based on current events. So I have recorded this webinar, so it will be posted on our website shortly after the presentation today. I should have it within a few hours to maybe tomorrow, posted on the website, and I will distribute to all our members so you can view at your leisure if you want to look at the content again to reinforce, or if you had questions, you might want to take a look through the presentation since we went through it pretty fast. And you can follow up with Workstream. So yeah, I'll get that out after the presentation. Again, thanks for taking the time to participate in this educational offering from CDA, and we look forward to offering you more in the future.
Thanks, everyone. See you guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.